Good evening, everybody. It's Tao at the Forge, and I'm here with the daily review. Let's see what's going on with Arena today. So there's a few things I want to talk about today, but first of all, let's get to looking at this. So, these things are always pretty good. Draft and a traditional draft. These, it depends what you want to play. There's not really, I don't see any other special events or anything happening, but right now, for instance, I still need cards from ZENDIKAR, so I might go into these drafts and play them a bit. I've been playing a lot of Historic because really I'm just not having any fun in Standard. So, Historic's actually been a lot better for me, and so that's what I'm doing. All right, so we're not going to trade this in because, first of all, it's a 750 reward, and I never trade out a 750 reward because, really, why would I? Most the only thing you could get is another 750 reward or a 500. So this is already good, and it's also in blue and green. And right now I'm playing basically Crab Mill, and so I'm going to play a lot of blue. And so yeah, this 30 spells won't take very long to do, and then I can get these wins pretty good, and looks like I'm about to get this mythic. So yeah, let's check out the store and see what's in the store for the daily deal. Hollowed Fountain, alright. And then the rest is just kind of meh. Alright, more card sales. I always like to check the bundles too, because sometimes they'll throw something into the bundles that's pretty neat. But really, basic lands, I've said this before, but really, these things, people just give them away in real life. What do they think people would actually spend their in-game currency on them, right? They're not even full art. I would rather have the full arts, well, though these ones are still ridiculously expensive. Okay, anyways, let's go to daily deal. Okay, so it's all of these pain lands, right? I would say they are probably not worth it, because look, if you got if you got one of each of these, well, I guess you only need one, but it's was there 10? So it's 20,000 gold to do that, and yeah, I could do that, but why would I? So definitely do not get this. All right, if you think, let's go a traditional draft, right? 10,000. I could do this twice. I could end up with potentially so many packs, right? Why would I do that? And that's just for this one. I don't know if that was really a good one. Let's go to Premier Draft. Send Premier Draft again. I've never had less than 3 wins, 2 to 3 wins, right? So, I mean, so you're gonna get at least probably 6 packs and 1,000 gems for this. Why would you? I don't know. It just seems like a total waste. So definitely do not get this daily deal, right? So it's just totally not worth it. All right, I'm just gonna grab a screenshot here for the thumbnail. All right, and let's go to the Mastery Pass here. Okay, so Mastery Tree. Alright, so we got another orb here. We can finish off the red, and I almost never pick red first, so there we go. Red first. Boom, done. I guess I had this one in black here, so I guess I'll go black next. Right, and then... yeah. Oh, this Black Bloom Rogue is actually pretty sweet. The rest of them just kind of meh. Right, and then let's see. The green... the greens are... all of these are just kind of... I don't really see many of these being played at all very much. So, let me see. Blue? Do they have a good blue one? I haven't even really looked. Glass Blue Mimic's pretty good, right? So, anyways, I'd say no. They're all just okay. I'll eventually get them all anyways. It just matters what order I do them in. And since I already started on black, might as well go there next. All right, let's go open up a pack. Oh, 3 packs. Sweet. I don't even know. You know what's bad when you don't even know. Alright, so, okay, Revitalize is pretty good. Okay, Chandra's Incinerator, a 5 and a red for a 6/6 Trampler. The spell costs X less to cast, where X is the total amount of non-combat damage dealt to your opponent this turn. This could actually be really good, right? For instance, you could get this out for 1 mana if you had, on turn 3, you could put it out, you bolt, in Modern, you could, lightning bolt someone, and then, done 6 damage, right? And then Chandra's Incinerator could come out for 1 mana, and you end up getting a 6/6, with Trample. That's pretty good on turn 3. So, let's see, when a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, Chandra's Incinerator deals that much damage to target creature or planeswalker. Yeah, this could be a total bomb. I would 100% pick this in draft, and I think this actually could be playable in other formats too. It'd be an interesting build around card. So yeah, maybe I'll build something around this eventually. It's just in the current meta, this is, well, and without things like Lightning Bolt, this is actually really hard. But in Modern, when you have things like Lightning Bolt and stuff like that, this would actually be much more doable, right? As an addition to maybe a mono red rush deck. All right, let's open up the ZENDIKAR ones and see what we get going there. So gonna get a rare wild card. That's good. Omara Wizard, Concerted Defense, counter target non-creature spell. Oh, interesting. Okay, and Coveted Prize. Alright, this is actually one of the cover arts for the set. So 4 and a black for a sorcery, 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. Search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. If you have a full party, you may cast a spell with converted mana cost 4 or less from your hand without paying its cost. Oh well, that could be, it's situational, but it could be really good. Alright, so then let's go one more here. And the rest, I don't really see many of these being played, but I haven't been playing a lot of standard, so I don't know. Archon of Emeria, 2 and a white for a 2/3 flyer. That's already pretty good. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. That's really good, depending if this would be a killer in blue-white control. Non-basic lands your opponents control enter the battle. Oh yeah, this would be a killer in blue-white control decks. Just slows your opponent down, makes it so they can't cast anything. Especially if you couple this with card draw, this could be really, really bad. Like this could go easily go into like a Howling Mine type, you know, mill type archetype deck. Again, another one, an interesting one to maybe build around. So maybe do like a blue-white mill where you just slow your opponent down with that. The only problem is it costs 3 mana, and so you know, it'd be better if it was 2 mana, and I would even take a smaller body on it for 2 mana to like do like a 1/3 or 1/4 for 2 mana and get that out just to have those effects. That might be too broken though. Okay. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about was just the Walking Dead set that's come out today, and you know, I've been tempted to make a comment about it for this last week, but I wanted to kind of take my time and think about it, and you know, see what other people are saying, and really, you know, not let the emotions kind of run over it, you know. And I have to say though, I think I agree with most of the community on this. Now, there's some things, and people are saying, for instance, like the Negan card, you know, Negan's pretty brutal, and you know, the scene where he kills Glenn, you know, that's really awful, you know, but really, like, it's up to parents to monitor what kids are watching, you know, and so I don't think necessarily that that's, you know, the end of the world, you know, that, you know, if you don't let your kids watch that, then, you know, that's fine, right? So I don't think the fact that Negan is an unsavory character, you know, should be the end of the world, right? Like, there's characters in Magic the Gathering that are really, really evil, right? That, you know, they've like destroyed worlds, or they like kill people or steal things or stuff like that, and you know, they're just really brutal too, you know, like, you know, and so like, and on a much grander scale as well. So overall, I don't think that that's really like the big deal. Like, if you look at someone like Stitcher Geralt, right? Like, I don't know the whole lore behind him, but I know that, you know, he reanimates zombies by, you know, stealing bodies and stitching them back together. So I mean, like, you know, is that really a great guy, a good role model? Yeah, probably not. So I would say overall, that person is probably not the best person to, like, you know, to model, but it's not a really great excuse for saying no to the set. Now, the real concern though, and I agree with this one, is that because these cards are only available online, you know, and only for 1 week, it means that after this is sold out, then people will just never be able to buy that again. And yeah, like, some people say, well, that's the same with almost every set, right? Like, you know, if you missed like your chance to buy it, to get a Liliana the Veil, then, you know, in the original Innistrad, then, you know, good luck getting it again. But I think there's a real difference, is that, you know, Wizards could possibly reprint them, you know, and they could make it like, look at Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf is super expensive, but it's been reprinted like over and over again, and you know, it's brought the price down. Or Bitter Blossom, right? Bitter Blossom is one of my favorite cards, you know, and it got reprinted as well, you know, and so, you know, there's chances for other people to pick them up, even if they didn't get them in the original set. You know, whereas the Walking Dead cards, they're very iconic, but they're probably not gonna ever be reprinted. And the thing is, they're not just like the Godzilla cards, where the Godzilla cards were actually just basically alternate arts. These they're basically functional. They're just actually unique cards, and they are mechanically unique. So if you take a look at the Rick card, you know, the Rick card is a lord for humans, I believe, but not only that, like, there's no other card that really does what he does, right? So in case you haven't seen it, when he enters the battlefield, you can pick 2, and I believe it's from First Strike, Lifelink, and Vigilance. And all humans, including him, because he's a human, like all humans you control get those abilities, right? And so like if you can flicker him, for instance, there's ways that you could like flicker him, and if you need more life, then you can, you know, choose life, and then you could also bring him back and give him first strike, everyone first strike. So there's ways to flicker him and change it, and that could actually be really, really broken, especially if he's your commander. It's super good because if he ever leaves the battlefield and gets killed, you can bring him back, and then next time, like, you may have chosen, let's say, vigilance and first strike first, but then later on, let's say you just really need first strike and lifelink, right? Well, you know, that actually could be way better, like be able to change modes. But the problem is that, you know, let's say you got someone and they don't have the money or the ability to purchase it right now for whatever reason, right? Then, you know, they're not going to be able to get that card, and they just never ever will again. And the chances are, like, already the secret layer cards already like are worth a lot more than people paid for them originally, you know. And so I suspect these ones, like, because of the rarity of them, and because it's a limited print run, and once you get them, then that's it. It's going to be really, really hard, you know, for people to purchase them, because the price of them once this is over is just going to skyrocket like crazy, right? Like, you know, and so I think it creates a bad precedent for Wizards of the Coast to do that, you know. And I think what they could have easily done is just like they could have made a new card, right, and then just like skinned it with these with the Walking Dead characters, and then basically they could reprint the new card in whatever the next set, you know, whatever next sets are coming up, right? And I think people would have been okay with that. But overall, though, creating cards that are just inaccessible or that give people a massive edge just because they have more money makes it Magic a little more pay to win. It's more of a cash grab, and it just makes people feel bad. I don't think Wizards should have done that. Now, at the end of the day, can they do that? Of course. You know, are they going to probably do it again? Probably, because something like this is going to make a lot of money, right? And then the question is like, well, okay, so why are the people in the community buying it? Well, because it's part of its FOMO, is right. It's the fear of missing out, right? That, you know, if you don't get it now, you'll just never have a chance to get it, right? So there's like a high purchasing pressure for them to go get it right now. But then on top of that is that, like, there's also investors, right? That if you do get it, right, then later on you could end up selling it and end up making a lot of money on it too, right? And like, you know, some Magic cards, especially something like this, is almost a sure thing. And so like it makes it so this is like better than playing the stock market or the lottery. You just like basically buy it now, and then in about 2 weeks you could probably sell it at least double the cost, and you made like 100% of your money back, right? So I mean, why wouldn't people do this? Right? And so I think that's what makes a lot of the Magic community feel really bad. And I think Wizards should kind of avoid this, because like already I think a lot of the problems in the Magic community are coming from MTG finance, right? It's the, you know, and I don't mean like the one person who happened to have like, you know, cracked it to fairy and sold it or something like that, right? I think, you know, we're talking about people that buy up cards and hoard them and stuff like that. That's, you know, and people like not really seeing the game as a game and just seeing it as a way to make money. And those are the people who are really like kind of, you know, making the game, like killing a lot of parts of the game. You know, it's not entirely their fault. I don't want to put that on them either. But, you know, I think there's a lot of considerations that Wizards has, you know, where they consider things like the secondary market, where, you know, where LGSs or these more, not even LGSs, like basically hoarders, like total finance guys, are kind of damaging the game. You know, it is human nature, and you know, it is what it is. But nonetheless, let me know what you think. You know, do you think that, you know, do you like The Walking Dead? Do you have any ideas about it? Do you think it's a good thing? Because I have yet to hear a single person say it's a good thing. So if you do, I'd like to hear what your reasons are. Throw that down in the comments. You know, and last thing, don't attack other people. So if someone says they think it's a good thing, don't attack them, right? Like, you know, maybe you can say what you think, but, you know, don't be like, you're an asshole or, you know, something like that, you know, and don't like try and out them or dox them or things like that. You know, don't do that to Wizards either. You know, don't go to like Alpha Investments and like attack Rudy, you know, things like that. You know, I mean, let's keep it all civil. You know, this is, at the end of the day, this is a decision Wizards made, and so let's just keep it on them. But anyways, that is it for the day. Thanks for listening to me rant. I'll see you next video.